My name is Tobi Farley. I'm the director of the Philmont Public Library. I'm representing the Columbia County Library Association. We've partnered with Habitat and Greylock Federal Credit Union tonight for this program. We have been in a partnership with Al from Habitat for Humanity for a while now. We've been talking for almost a year, at least a year, because we have a tool shed library at our library where we loan out tools. It started because we found that a lot of people were moving up from the city, and we have 60% renters in our community. And so a lot of people didn't have tools that they needed, didn't have the money to purchase them, didn't have the space to keep them for tools that they might use it once or twice a year. So we have, and it started also with a gardening program that we were doing. So we started with gardening tools. We have a rototiller that's electric, along with a very long 100-foot extension cord that you can borrow. We have, what do you call it, drill and a, electric drill and screwdriver, lots of all other things. And we also always welcome suggestions. We also in the past have had a repair cafe, where people come with things that they need help in repairing, and we have repair experts. We're going to try to start that up again in the fall, hopefully November. And so that's where we came from at this, and that's how we started discussing things with Al. So tonight you're going to hear from Al from Habitat for Humanity, and then after that we're going to hear from Stephanie and Tia from Greylock Federal Credit Union. Okay, Al, it's all you.
All righty. Well, thank you, Tobi, and thanks to my co-panelists, Stephanie and Tia. We're really excited to kick off this first in what will be a series of webinars covering home finance and home maintenance topics. This is going to extend through the summer and into the fall and early winter. We're going to cover financial education and home finance topics. And then we're going to intersperse that with some home maintenance topics as we get to the colder weather season. This is in keeping with our direction at Columbia County Habitat, which is to extend our assistance services to low to moderate income homeowners in Columbia County. So with that as an introduction, I want to just kick off some introductory remarks. I will share my screen, and I have a little presentation here that I will walk through, and then I will turn it over to Stephanie and to Tia to talk about homeowner financial stuff. Again, this is the first really an introductory session for what we'll pick up again in August and then run through the fall. And then beyond that, we're hoping. And we're hoping that as we progress through the series, we'll have greater and greater participation in a robust group of folks who are learning about things that they need to keep their home finances and their homes maintained. So a little bit about Columbia County Habitat for Humanity. You probably know the name Habitat for Humanity. It's been around since the 1970s. It's famous for former President Jimmy Carter being involved since he left office in building homes across the country and around the world. So what do we do here in Columbia County? Well, we're about to celebrate our 30th anniversary in 2023. So we've been around since 1993. We have built or rehabilitated 25 houses, north and south and east and west in the county. So we've focused all over the county. We started mostly in Hudson the first 10 or 12 years, built a number of homes for residents in Hudson, and then have branched out since then. Habitat is a volunteer-driven organization. Our homes have traditionally been built by mostly volunteers, both organization-based volunteers, church groups, service groups like Rotary, Boy Scouts, etc. A number of companies in the county pitch in, with their employees. So, this really is a community-based activity, and we build homes alongside who will become our new homeowners. So we build in partnership with families. So I'll talk a little bit about the way Habitat works, but each person who qualifies for a Habitat home, we don't give homes away. We make it affordable for low-income folks to be able to purchase their home and begin the homeownership path and the path to building home equity. What we are also doing, and we started this last fall in partnership with the library, and then later on with Greylock and others, is to expand our critical home repair program, where we have traditionally helped senior citizens stay in their homes by providing access repairs and accessibility and minor weatherization, to expand into homeowner services. We recognize that in this county, there are not a lot of resources for lower income folks to be able to access home services or home education. And we're determined to build a resource network for people of modest means to be able to turn to an organization to help them with their home ownership issues. So how does Habitat work? I said that we don't give our houses away. What we offer is a path to home ownership, traditionally for people and families on the lower end of the income scale. We offer a house based on income, so it's always a payment that the family can afford. The family must go through home buyer education as part of the process. They must learn home finance, and we're really proud to partner with Greylock to help provide that education. And Habitat works with our homeowner families every step of the way and beyond the closing and purchasing of the home. So we are there as true partners with our families. And we provide a new, safe, affordable home that families can call their own. There's no landlord involved. You're not a renter. You own your home when you work with Habitat. Who's eligible? Well, we follow federal affordable housing guidelines, and we believe that no family should ever pay more than 30% of their income towards housing costs. So our program is designed to work with people and families to get them in a house and that includes mortgage payment, tax payments, insurance payments, so that it does not exceed 30% of the income, which is what the federal government and others think as affordable. So for a family of 4 in Columbia County, we work within an income range of between 50% and 75% of median income. So that means an income range of between $40,000 and $50,000 to $60,000. And again, we don't let income be the barrier to home ownership. And in fact, it's not our first criteria. To be eligible for a Habitat house, first and foremost, you have to demonstrate a need for housing. So what does that mean? We'll talk about that in a second. Secondly, you have to be, because you're going to be owning your home and you're going to be taking out a mortgage, you have to demonstrate the ability to pay, that you have an income so that you're able to pay your mortgage and your home-related bills. And third, you have to be willing to partner in building your own home and then in learning how a house works so that you can maintain it properly. Right now, we are expecting our next build to commence this fall in Philmont. We are doing the pre-engineering. We own a piece of property in Philmont. We've been sort of waiting out the bubble in housing costs so that we can build, the most economical house we can. And we're still doing the engineering on the site to make sure we know everything that's going into that. As we move forward, we have committed as an organization to building more and building more often and exploring a wide range of types of homes, smaller homes, modular homes, unit homes, are all options we're looking to be able to have a greater impact on the affordable housing crisis in our county. So over the next few years, we are becoming much more active in the county in building more housing for folks, which is why we're launching these new programs like Habitat Helping Hands, which is the partnership program that we're working with the library and with Greylock and with the Columbia Green Community College and others to develop this resource network. Our website has an application for folks needing assistance in minor home repairs. I'm showing you a little bit of what the program looks like. We do exterior repairs. The picture you see here is a ramp that we built in Stuyvesant last fall. We work first and foremost on need along the criteria that we work in putting people in houses. So first and foremost, it's about need. We do work on the same income criteria for our service program as we do for our home ownership program. So we want to make sure that we're serving the people who have the greatest financial need as well. But our program is open for folks who need ramps built because they have accessibility problems or they have a disabled individual living in their home. We are working on safety repairs inside the home to keep seniors safe and keep the older folks from falling. We do what we call aging in place to help secure the home for seniors to make sure that their homes are a place that they can live in for as long as possible, so they're not forced into a situation where they need to move in with family or move into an institution. So the partners we're working with, Greylock, the libraries, the Dyson Foundation, Columbia Green, Harrington's, have all made this this new program possible through financial support or partnership support, especially in building out the education program, of which this webinar is our first effort. We are looking for more folks to get involved. We always need volunteers. We have a new ramp project coming up over the weekend in Ghent. If you're interested in helping or interested in helping in our upcoming repair projects in Stuyvesant and Stuyvesant Falls, call our office, 518-828-0828. Ask for me, ask for Mike, and we'd be happy to put you on the volunteer list. We could always use people who are handy with a hammer or want to learn how to be handy with a hammer. So it's a great community effort. We have a lot of fun and we do good. And that's really what Habitat is about, doing good and having fun while we're doing it. Again, if you'd like some more information on our homeownership process, if you would like to be put on the list for an application when we open applications for our next houses, again, or if you would like to volunteer for our home repair projects, please call us, or you can find us online at columbiacountyhabitat.org. And with that, I will stop screen sharing and I will turn it over to Stephanie.
Thank you, Al, and thank you, Toby. Before we dive into our part of the show this evening, I did want to just first point out the Habitat volunteering opportunities are phenomenal. Greylock, at least in Berkshire County, so we're hoping to do so in Columbia County. We've done the Habitat Women Build in our area and had a chance to volunteer on numerous occasions on different builds. It is quite an empowering experience, you know, getting the safety training and hands-on on each of the pieces of equipment and tools, as well as working alongside the homeowner as they do their sweat equity and contribute to the building of their own home. So it's a tremendous process. So I highly recommend getting involved if anyone gets a chance to do that. So, so thank you for bringing that to us. And I will let Shanatia jump in here, and then we'll do our formal introductions.
Hello, everyone. Stephanie and I are here to represent Greylock Federal Credit Union, which we do have a new office, a new branch, actually, as you see on the screen at 464 Fairview Ave in Hudson, New York. If you're familiar with Fairview Ave, it's right by the Kohl's and the Verizon, and between Fairview and Jocelyn Boulevard. Don't hesitate to call if you have questions about memberships or anything like that. As well as Stephanie was nice enough to also attach there our Community Empowerment Center phone number. If you're ever looking for coaching or just wanting to learn more about credit.
And then Tia
Next
shared
slide.
with me today that we're what, 2 years and 2 months old over there?
Yes, we are. We have hit our 2-year and 2 months anniversary so far. So
Excellent. So we definitely invite everybody to come and visit. So who are we? So with Greylock Federal Credit Union, we have embarked on a community development program the last handful of years. And so what that basically means is we get out into the public and in our community and offer financial wellness tools. So for me, I'm a full-time financial wellness coach, number 2, and a certified credit union financial counselor. That's the CCUFC designation at the bottom. It basically, counselor sounded a little too formal. We want to be coaches and give people some tools to succeed. I've been with Greylock now, this is my 10th year, and I get a chance to work with our community partners like our the Habitat started it here in Berkshire County, Central Berkshire. So now, of course, Columbia County. We work with community partners like the Breen Center is a recovery facility, Berkshire Community Action Council, things like fuel assistance, many more organizations. But we want to be able to give tools to each other and help make those connections. So by us being here this evening, we're hoping to be able to put you in touch with some important folks within the community that are available to you. And Tia.
And as for me, I've been with Greylock for as long as we've been open, 2 years, 2 months. I've been in banking. My career in banking has been about 16 years now. The reason why I decided to work for Greylock is truly because of their commitment to the community and, their efforts to be more involved and engaged and, really catering to those of the lower income community, especially Columbia County. They just do exceptional work. And, we've partnered so far also with Columbia Reentry Program here in Hudson. We've been doing work with, teaming up with the chambers and really connecting and getting involved with a lot of nonprofits locally, Perfect 10, Kite's Nest, the Boys and Girls Club. We've done a lot of things with them as well. Greylock is a great credit union to be a part of, and I'm hoping that with this partnership with Columbia Habitat, it's going to really show our commitment to coaching and developing our members and giving you guys that financial freedom and wellness that you need, through this program.
Thank you. So how does this all tie in together with the services that are offered through Habitat and the public library, being able to educate folks? So how many of you, and you can use the emoji to raise your hand, but how many of you have visited your primary care doctor within the past year? All right, so thinking about that, how about the dentist? Everybody's been to the dentist, I hope. So think about it. Do you have to be sick, Tia? Do you have to have a cavity to go see one of those doctors?
No, you don't. Why
No,
wait
you
until
don't.
you're sick? My grandmother
Exactly.
would always say prevention is better than cure.
Exactly, exactly. So
Mhm.
performing a financial wellness checkup at least once a year can help make sure that you're on track. So you can imagine, especially, you know, like Al was talking about programs for those who might be in the low to moderate income categories. It's super important. It is key for financial health. It doesn't necessarily mean we all have to be rich and have a huge bankroll. It means that we need to be less stressed. We need to be thinking about the future and preparing ourselves so that whatever homes that we are in, we can stay in them, right? You can do financial wellness checks on yourself. Or you can connect with one of our financial wellness coaches. Now, Greylock Federal, this is a community service. We're a community organization. We run by membership. However, part of our commitment to being in the community is offering all of these services at no charge, for free. So financial wellness coaching, whether it's a class, which we'll talk a little bit about those in a minute, or one-on-one coaching. You want to sit down with somebody and you know, check on where you're at and where you want to go. It's free to the community members. Okay. So we want to just tell you a little bit more about some of the opportunities that we have available.
So we do have a build a basic budget opportunity. This is a class that we will be presenting to the participants for this program. You know, everyone associates the word budget with a negative, right? Just like the word diet. A diet is actually what you eat and drink. This seminar will help you set up a spending plan, a budget, identify your personal spending leaks, encourage ways that you can track spending, and ways to incorporate saving into those plans. It helps attendees to create short-term and long-term financial goals, which is needed when you want to create that budget. Know what your day-to-day expenses are, your month-to-month expenses are. And going into home ownership, it's very important that you have a budget plan. And this class is, you know, to me, very important to be a part of. And we're looking forward to teach you these key points and key areas in creating a basic budget that you can carry on for, you know, to teach your children, you know, for when they get to your point. And the next class definitely will go over with you.
So credit ability. It's important, of course, to build a good, strong credit history. So the workshop addresses who needs to build credit and why. I'm sure you can already imagine. The significance of a credit report and the score. You know, I don't know how many of you have taken a look at your credit in the last calendar year, but I highly recommend it. I myself found some errors that an old roommate had charged up a bit on something that I didn't know was on my credit report. So I was responsible for that. If you're not sure how to establish credit, we can talk about the what goes into building that good credit. Tips to how to use credit wisely. I mean, honestly, credit is an unfortunate game that you must play as an adult. And in order to stay in the game, you have to play, right? Identifying costly pitfalls, which I'm sure you can imagine. Maybe you've been there. I can certainly say I've been there a few times in my life. Life happens, right? We have our ups and downs. And as consumers, you have rights and responsibilities. And a lot of times people are unaware of that fact.
Preparing for future home ownership. You wouldn't be here if this wasn't your goal, right? This class is, you know, to teach you, you know, especially if you have a plan to own a home in 2 or more years, it addresses budgeting for extra expenses, building a strong credit history, as well as cleaning up your credit and the insurances that you need. You know, to be a homeowner, you have to have home insurance, sorry. You have to have home insurance, you know, and being able to include that in your budget as you plan for this future expense is very important. You know, we talk about the difference between rent versus owning, and why, you know, there is a difference. Some people have their preference. Some people prefer to rent for the rest of their lives. But others want to own a home, and we'll talk about those things and the difference between those two, as well as comparing owning a single family home as opposed to owning a duplex home. What are the advantages of both options?
Thank you. And then kind of a culmination that we can sprinkle in with all of these pieces is having power over debt. We often ask our attendees of our sessions, you know, do you have control of your money, or does your money have control over you? So you don't have to answer that, just think about it for a minute. But this workshop, attendees actually look at the benefits and the costs of credit, identify warning signs of too much debt. I can definitely tell you we've sweated that one out over the years. Steps to tackling the debt, you know, even if it's like a micro plan with little baby steps, or maybe there's an overall, you know, way to consolidate everything at once. How to rebuild good credit. I mean, we've had times where, you know, you get off the beaten path, you're off track. You just need a little bit of encouragement and some tools to get back on track. And then in general, so that it doesn't repeat the cycle, we're going to help with some tips on how to stay out of debt. It sounds like it could be a real simple remedy, right? But not everyone has that key of success with that. So I'll just touch a little bit about some of the financial literacy tools that are available through our website. So our headquarters, if you will, is based out of Pittsfield, but Shanatia is one of our coaches, as she mentioned. So she sort of falls under our umbrella. So our Greylock website is greylock.org. Our Community Empowerment Center, or CEC for short, that's basically how to get to us quickly. You can find us through the actual website in general, but this is the fast track to it. Basically, on our website, you have access even now to free tools. So free financial literacy tools, including calculators, like, you know, calculating how much mortgage can I afford, calculating a budget. They even have some online tools for that as well. There are interactive courses where you can sort of choose your own adventure, if you will, which direction you want to head, and even ways to help prevent fraud. On our website, you'll also find a community calendar of financial literacy offerings, things like workshops and classes. We'll be offering some things specifically to the participants through this program through Habitat and the Libraries Association. And basically, we have scheduled classes. Both will be in person as well as via Zoom, which is a great opportunity, especially if you don't have the time to leave the house. You can just click a link and hop online. And money saving tips. There's also through our website, it's called the Attune Financial Health Survey. Basically, it gives you a chance to, by a handful of clicks, you answer some questions, and it'll provide you with tailored tools, including web links to the things like the calculators and articles, so that if you're not really sure if you want to meet with somebody, why not do this check-in first to see how you're doing. It'll give you sort of like an overall health score. It's not trackable in the sense that it needs to have your name, address, phone number, but it does just, you know, populate sort of based on your answers. So it gives us feedback on how better to provide products and services to the community. There's also our Bonsai program. It's an online financial literacy program that offers tools to both community members like yourself and our area schools for free. Teachers and educators actually can take advantage of the free programs, bring the financial literacy pieces to their students. It can be an independent educational plan, or you can actually integrate things into your existing lessons. Maybe you only want to take a small budgeting piece. Maybe you want something on the FAFSA. You name it, it can be found there. So the greylock.org CEC website is basically where you're going to find all of those things. And that's just a little snippet of the Bonsai program. These little interactive links, there's different articles. Under the topics, there's different categories. You can talk about homeownership, investments, insurance, you name it. It's all available through our website. And so we'll be Al will be sharing with you some opportunities coming forward. I believe at the end of August is our first official class, but those will be posted in advance with the information on what we'll be covering with each topic. So please let us know, though, if you have any questions about anything that we've chatted about. I know Al will probably say the same. You can always pop those into the chat or into the Q&A section if anything came up while we were talking, or something that you might think would be beneficial for us to offer to you into the future.
Also seem to have a really small group, so if anybody just wants to hit the raise their hand button and talk out loud, that would be fine too. I'll be able to unmute you. And I just want to ask, I'm sorry, if anybody has been watching and listening with someone else in the room, and could let us know that, because we do keep track of how many people come to our program. So if you have someone else listening with you, if you could just write the number of people you have in the chat, that would help us out. Sorry, Al, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Tia. So Stephanie mentioned our formal education class will kick off in August, at the end of August. We'll be doing the last Tuesday of every month from August through the end of the year. So I believe in August, that is the, where's my calendar?
Looks like August 30th, Al.
Okay, August 30th, thank you. And then we will be blanketing the airwaves with promotional reminders so that everyone will know, and there will be no doubt as to when our next program is. And so just to reinforce why this is important and why, the library and Greylock and Habitat and Harrington's and foundations have come together to support this program is that affordable housing in Columbia County is at crisis levels. We know what's happening certainly in the city of Hudson, but really throughout the county. People can't find an affordable place to buy. They can't find a affordable place that has enough room for their families. And that creates an economic crisis in this county. So if people can't afford to live here, they're going to move away. The jobs will go away. I mean, all of our institutions that hire people are frustrated because they can't find places for their people to live, or their people, can't keep up with the cost of living. So as an organization that, is in the home ownership space, we again are committed to building more and to finding more solutions. And we'll be doing that over the course of the next several years. So, more on that as this year progresses and as our plans unfold. But financial education is critical for anyone who wants to own a home. And Habitat really is the only option for affordable home ownership in our county and really in our state. And underpinning that is, we want to ensure that our partner families are financially successful. They have to be. We don't build a house, sell it to them and walk away. We want to make sure that, these families, who many of whom don't have a family history of home ownership, know how to succeed. Because building wealth and building generational wealth, wealth that you can pass down to family members, really starts with home ownership. And we're committed to doing that and to providing those folks who need it most with the opportunity to do that. We know what the structural issues to disadvantaged communities are or have been. There's only so much we can do to dismantle them, but we can make sure that folks are ready financially to successfully own a home. And that's why this series, and we're so excited to partner with the libraries and with Greylock and with others to get people ready to successfully own a home as we increase our ability to build. So, this has been a nice and long delayed kickoff for this. we're happy to get it started. We'll give people a break to settle into summer, and then we'll reconvene at the end of August with our first financial education seminar, and I'm looking forward to that just before Labor Day.
Great. Thanks, Sal. And I just want to also let people know that we have recorded this session, and we will have it up on our website, at least the Philmont Library website. It will also be on Cloverick, Chatham, and as many other libraries in the county that would like to put it on theirs as well. So you can, within a couple of days, we'll have it on our websites, and you'll be able to, if you had somebody that you knew wanted to come and couldn't make it tonight, or you wanted to review any information and watch it again, you'll be able to access that through our sites.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for including us, and we're looking forward to taking part in this adventure.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Enjoy the
Thanks,
beautiful
guys.
evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.